What's going on, family? I'm back with another Sakamoto Days episode review. It's episode 11, Casino Battle, which is funny because before I even knew the title of this, in my last notes, I have remember writing down, Casino Battle. So, before we go any further, I need you to roll the dice. Actually, don't roll the dice. You don't have to take a gamble. I just need you to hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified of more reviews like this. I mean, you're getting a good product from a person who prides himself on being honest. And as a matter of fact, I honestly got to ask you, click that link down there to my Patreon. Donate whatever you can. It's going towards the channel to make everything bigger and better. We're going to be doing PC things, y'all. We're going to do PC things. So, here we are. We have met Wutang Lu, who ain't 6. Hey, I guess you got a 6. Look at that. Wutang Lu, who is nothing to fuck with. And he wants Xiaotang Lu to come back and be the head of the Lu clan Chinese mafia. She don't want no part of that. But in order to do that, we are getting a different type of battle. Not one of fists, not one of guns, not one of whatever the hell was happening with the lab with the Mad Horiguchi, or as I like to call him, Mad Gucci. We're getting a battle of, actually, see, I don't want to call it luck because of how they do things here, but that's kind of why I like this episode. Not even kind of, it's why I like this episode. I like this episode a lot because of the different take on a battle. So, the crew's 30 million. I should say they just faced Wutang, who already tripled the earnings that he had just instantly, right? So they got to work hard because two of them don't even know how gambling works. So Shin says they need to split up the money, split up the chips. We got 15 mil going to Sakamoto, 10 mil going to Shin, 5 going to Lu. Gambling's all luck, right? And Lu instantly tells him, like, there has to be, like, a catch because Wutang is smart and he wouldn't leave anything up to chance. Wutang thinks that Hitman leave things up to chance anyway, and Sakamoto rebuttals this when Wutang says, unlike Hitman, like you, we Mafia don't have the luxury of leaving things up to chance. Life ain't that easy, right? Lu says, Lu is kind of upset saying she shouldn't agree, but Sakamoto says it's the same for Hitman. Those who let fate take its course, you die first. Makes sense, right? So Shin can read minds, obviously. So he's reading the minds at this blackjack table he goes to, and they're all like, oh yeah, we're gonna take him, we're gonna juice him for all his money. And Lu fucks around and goes, oh man, how you gonna play this and you don't know how it works? And Shin's like, thanks, Lu, but he can read their minds, know that they're underestimating him, and when he accidentally drops his cards on the floor, the dudes are like, oh, I'll just bluff the kid. He doesn't know what's going on. And Shin's like, oh, I know what you're going to do. And basically reading their minds to know when they're going to bluff, when they're going to call, learning as he's playing because they took their phones. He can't even look up the rules, so they took their phones. Sakamoto is at a roulette table, to which the roulette guy's thinking, oh, those are the guys that are giving Wutang a hard time that he's worried about. Well, that's all right, because I control the ball with the electromagnetic. You ain't going to win, fatty. Sakamoto goes, oh, by the way, Shin went from 12 million. He's now at 22 mil. So he got another 10. Sakamoto goes all in except for one chip. And he's like, yeah, just in case. Now, dude does the roulette, and Sakamoto, very fast, flicks the chip to hit the roulette table so that it moves just the way, one more click, so the ball goes to where he needs it. And somebody's like, man, Fatty got some luck. So now, his initial, what did he start with? His initial what? I wrote that down. I'm sorry. I said his initial 15 has now, wow, I think he's gone up to 29 mil. Yep, he went up to 29 mil. So in total, they have 51, but dude already tripled it. So you got to get 39 more to catch up to him. And someone tells Wutang, hey, they're winning hand over fist. I think they're cheating. And Wutang goes, doesn't matter. Let them cheat, right? I anticipated this. I'm going to win anyway. And then we hear in the guy's mind what Wutang is doing. He's counting cards. You're not allowed to count cards at a casino. Do not go, if you're of age, with proper age, 21 and older, and are able to go into a casino. Do not count cards. You will be caught. You might get your ass kicked, and you will be kicked out. It's also against the law as well, I think. I know casinos frown heavily upon it. Do not do that. But yeah, no, he's cheating himself. You're not supposed to be counting cards, but he's doing it. Excuse me. We get a flashback now. His backstory, when Showdown Lu was 8 and he was 11, he was getting beat up by some guys going, oh, the Wu family doesn't need a weak wimp like you. And Showdown was like, how come you don't fight back? And Wutang tells it there's other ways of getting people back. Like, I'll just tell on them and it'll make things much harder for them later on. And he thinks, oh man, my excuse was so stupid and lame. And Showdown goes, that's amazing. You're really smart. You're good with your mind. And she was the person that made him, like, she's the first person who actually praised him and didn't make him feel like weak. So he wanted to climb to the top to be the brains for her so that he could help her. And his gratitude for her and the clan is immeasurable. So he doesn't want her peaceful life to be taken away. And then I'm thinking to myself, where were you doing a lab arc? Like, where were you when she got kidnapped? Because if they had failed and the bad guys kept her, she'd probably be dead by now. So, yeah. Anyway, we're at the end of the 2 hours. They both have 87,630 chips. So it's a tie. So they're going to... Oh, by the way, all this moment here is he's insulting them, calling them imbeciles. Well, he says baka, but he calls people imbeciles and idiot, which can probably... I see why people want to kick your ass. You should probably not do that. Anyway, one dude's like, can we just shoot them? And Wu-Tang's like, back up. I told you to back up. We're doing this my way, right? So, want to do a game of poker. They don't know the rules. And he's like, what do you know how to play? Which even the guys behind Wu-Tang kind of make faces. By the way, a lot of these characters have traits that follow them as they get older. He has a little purple cube on his cheek that follows him. Not the hair. Just not the hair, but a little purple cube. So, there you go. So they're going to basically play a game because Lou suggests they basically play old maid. So it's going to be 3-on-3. 3 of them and 2 of his guys with him. They're going to fight Wutang. The Sakamotos are in. They're like, it's a simple game. It's a lot better. Lou has no poker face because she gets the Joker and makes the cutest, funniest crying face. And dude goes to grab her card and then he moves it. And she's like, yeah. He takes the Joker anyway to relieve her of it. And Shin's like, that's not how this game works. Now, funny enough, he knows that Shin can read minds. So Shin's just going to read his mind on which one is not the Joker. And he says, yeah, I wonder... He says there's 3 consciousness that the human mind has, which is verbalized consciousness, which when you kind of talk to yourself in your mind, there's the pre-consciousness, which is things that are in the forefront of your mind, right? And then there's the subconscious, habits, reflexes. He's wondering how far he can read. Shin tries to read everything in his mind, and then the narrator kicks in, where we just see equations and stuff that equals Showdown Wu and winning or equals Joker. And narrator tells us this was a dangerous act, and the excessive amount of information caused his brain to overheat. We see smoke coming from him. He passes out. Shin is out. He's out of the table. Which dude goes, okay, so you can only do what's in the front of the mind. He should probably work. Now, see, if he trains his mental powers, he might be able to read deeper into the back of people's minds. Because just getting what's in the pre-cortex or what people are verbalizing in their own minds, that's cool. But he should probably be able to dig deeper. He can find secrets that people are trying to hide. Anyway, Wutang and Sakamoto end up being, sorry, before they end up being the only ones left, one of his guys is going to hurry up and pick a card, Fatty. And Sakamoto notices, like, him being angsty means he has the Joker. So Sakamoto fast grabs the card, puts the card back, and grabs a different card. Lou saw it. Like, Xiao Tang, Lou, she saw that. And Wu-Tang goes, wait a minute, you just did something weird there, didn't you? Don't do anything shady again, or it's automatically you're out. I was like, all right, cool. Now, these two are the last two left. Sakamoto's super strong. So Sakamoto has a Joker and a regular. I'm not going to show you those. Has a regular card and a Joker. I'm going to pretend this is the Joker, and this is the regular card. And when he tries to grab it, Sakamoto can easily hold it and using two hands, to which Sakamoto easily has dude trip and swaps the cards in his hand super fast to where guy has the Joker now. All right, Sakamoto's doing the damn thing, but all of Wu-Tang's men they're over all this. They're tired of the games, and you know they're gonna try to shoot. They're gonna shoot him. They're gonna kill him and the Sakamotos. And Wu-Tang is so down on himself. He's like, wow, a mutiny. That's the lamest way to die. But okay. And Sakamoto gives some pep talk, says, so you give up way too easily. Didn't you want to impress your crush? And, you know, has a gun to his little fat waddle. And the guy says, Wu-Tang says, stay out of it, Sakamoto. You ruined my plan. I had rigged all these guns to explode when they shot, which got all the guys going, wait a minute, hold on a second. And then he just tells him, wait, you didn't think I would notice an uprising. But he's like, I'm counting on you. And Sakamoto and Xiao Tang go to work whooping these guys' ass. Like, Sakamoto grabs, like, he sliced off clothes, being Gambit from the X-Men, but better. Yeah, I said it, but better. Just throwing cards, shredding clothes. Knocks people out with pool cues that he just threw in the air and hits them all. The dude should train Rock Lee because he's doing a lot of stuff without magic and weird stuff going on. So, whooping ass with pool cues. Wu-Tang shot at the one dude that was being an a-hole. And like, Baka, bluffing is gambling 101. It's easy to do, right? But he concedes to Sakamoto because he goes, yeah, I don't deserve to protect her. I put her in danger. And Sakamoto gives another touching speech where he says, I don't know what you deserve, but I do know what it's like to want to protect those dear to you. Good job. So now this dude's working at Sakamoto convenience store, Kombini, if you know the Japanese. And when asked, do you know slur? Well, wait. Oh, no. Sorry. Sakamoto. No. Wu-Tang asked if Sakamoto knew slur personally. I think he lied and said no, but he's like, no. But they had a hunch that slur was the one who put the hit out on Sakamoto. And they're like, so you're not telling us anything new, but he has by the way, they all have sunken faces because they're dead ass tired, even Sakamoto, and they're dead ass tired, and it's like this information isn't like anything new that they didn't have a hunch about. But he's like, there's a bunch of mysteries trailing this guy, such as in Southeast Asia there was some murders in a prison, a death row prison. There were 4 murders that happened with 4 inmates who were slated to be on death row, and their faces were burned off and had an X painted on the wall. But an associate of Wu-Tang's who buys dead bodies said there was some interesting bodies that just kind of came up in Japan all of a sudden. There was one that was riddled with holes. We see a guy kind of chained up and just literally Swiss cheese. There was one person that had just a lump of flesh scraped off. There was another person who was dismembered, like just cut up into pieces. And then there was like one person compressed into a small meatball. And these methods of killing, they are methods that the 4 inmates that were supposedly killed do. So obviously these guys have faked their deaths and escaped. and now they're hiding in Japan. So these guys are at, I guess, what constitutes as this world's McDonald's with burgers and stuff. And we have Dump, black character with how many kills? They say she has 180 kills. I think she has a tattoo on her chest that says murder. Wanted to at least have you guys take a look. She looks like a JoJo character. Literally kind of looks like a JoJo character to me. We now have Saul. Excuse me. We now have Saul, who is reading a manga called Man by Antonio Matsuri. But this dude has 64 victims, which is not a ton. I wish I could have got better image than that. Whomp. Yep. Laughing, enjoying manga, saying Japanese manga is so hilarious. This next guy is this redhead guy that looks like he could be from Death Note or even can't think of the anime game right now. But this dude's name is Apart. You're kind of getting Dump Saw Apart. He has 206 villains, and he is dude is super duper wimpy. Like, he keeps talking about, oh, I told the lady no pickles. Oh, I'm gonna die. This is the worst time of my life. He's super emo. And then you got this other dude who's this giant black man with dreads. He reminds me of Bob from Tengo Tenji. His name is Minimalist and has 370 victims. So he is obviously the one who does the most killing. Yep, there he is. Big up. There we go. Big old Minimalist. The Killer Man. So it's very obvious based on these not so covert names. This makes me feel better about my writing and trying to come up with names because, yeah. But anyway, these names. Minimalist is obviously Meatball Man. Apart is obviously the guy that took the guy's body parts apart. Saw, Chunk, and Dump is probably she dumps bullets into people, more than likely. Which is interesting because, so, Minimalist keeps squashing things. Like, he took Apart's burger and smushed it into a perfect ball like this. And he even took, when Deerface shows up, he even takes a table and bends it and crushes it. Because and just like, yeah, no, we'll kill people. I'll get more into that. But he turns it into a ball. That's his stupid thing. Again, it's funny when animes seem kind of rooted in reality, but then you do like super crazy shit like that. Saw and Dump don't really show like in their dialogue or personalities their method of killing, even though you can tell by their names. She just kind of has a bad attitude, and he is laughing about manga and kind of trying to console Apart, who, mind you, deconstructed his burger to make sure there's no more pickles on it. And I'm like, that's a very smart way of associating his name. Very over the top for Minimalist. You didn't really, that's kind of like in your face, you know. But Dear Man shows up, you know, gives them papers on who he wants them to kill. It's order members. Sakamoto's a B, but Nagumo's an S. And so it's only 4 people on here. And they're like, okay, this fat dude shouldn't even be hard. And tell him don't underestimate them. And Minimalist says it'll take a month to just kill all of them. That's when he destroys the table. And he says, you got a month to bring us your next list, or we're going to go on a killing spree, right? And I think Deerhead is the one who's saying this. He's like, they do not make a living. They do not kill to make a living. They rather live to kill. And Deer Man got a little, what's his name? Kashima has a cane, and he's just moving about, I guess because Sakamoto beat the hell out of him. And he's like, man, they are unadulterated evil, but this is his decision, and I lost. And in my mind, it's art imitating life, life imitating art. When you are so lost in a sauce of a cult, when the Mr. Leader Man shows you that he is a hypocritic fuck, you are going to be just as equally hypocritical, if not insane, because we already established that he's insane. So you're insane to go, well, these guys are evil, but, it's what he wants. You're so... I wish IOE would just take the limiters off of Sakamoto and just let him kill some of these characters, because some of these characters don't deserve to just get rid of them. I mean, even Lloyd and York, they, I'm just saying. By the way, another thing to point out, the people in this restaurant, they're only talking about like Kashima's deer head. Like, oh, is it a cosplay? Because you can hear it in the background. I like that little touch. But what the hell goes on in Japan in this world where dude is running from one train to the next, whooping a robot man's ass who is thrown into a garbage dump? And you see a deer-headed person. You got a giant black man turning a table into a ball, and no one going, you got to pay for that. I mean, I wouldn't tell him you got to pay for it either, because he might kill me, obviously. Who is just... I don't get it. But anyway, Wutang's giving payment for his 1 day of work because they had to pick up things they had to pick up business again at the store because he cost them a whole day of work. And Sakamoto's thinking, okay, well, if we beat them, we're going to get the Slur. And Slur is the enemy of the JAA. And Wutang is saying, like, you guys need to get out of here. Like, these dudes are super killers. They're more than likely coming for you. And Shayne is going to contact Hisuke so he can be in on the fold. And Sakamoto proves how badass he goes. When Wutang tells him these dudes are psycho murderers, they're not hitman or mafia, one wrong move and you're dead, Sakamoto goes, if so, that's more than enough reason why we can't leave these guys on the street. Sakamoto is going to clean up as if he is a superhero, which at this point he really is a superhero. So, yep, that is the end of this first part. This episode gets 5 out of 5 from me because we have very wonderfully set up who the next goal beyond is going to be. What the next goal is that you have to take out, because it's looking kind of... Person who shoots you full of lead, okay, the guy that's gonna saw you and the guy that likes to cut you apart, he's probably gonna use string or something, right? He's probably gonna use cables. But the dude that can physically mold things into a ball, I hope no one loses a limb. That's gonna be an interesting battle there. Very interesting battle. But 5 out of 5. This whole entire first part, 5 out of 5, period. When the next part of season 1 comes out, we're going to definitely see if this will be anime of 2025. I'm still calling it that. Still need to go see what anime of 2024 looks like. I got to watch it Don to Don. But this, really good. Really fun. I liked the casino battle part where we get to see a different way of battling, different way of doing, of fighting. We still get they got to beat up the goons because the goons are going to try to kill them. But a head-to-head when it comes to being cunning and smart and using your abilities outside of the fists and weapons. I like that. I like that a lot. So 5 out of 5 from me. How have you all enjoyed these first 11 episodes? Let me know in the comment section down below. Let me know what you thought of this episode. Remember, hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified of more reviews like this one. And if you want to support me even further, hit that Patreon link in the description down below. Whatever you choose to donate, it's very much appreciated. Just like I appreciate you guys being here right now. Please, be good, be blessed. Wash your hands, drink some water. Be safe out there, all right? Be good to yourselves, be good to others. Either way it goes, please don't be a jerk. There's too many of those out there. And it can make you, the way the world is right now, can make you feel down and out. Just reach out to someone, talk to somebody. There are people out there that would rather talk to you today than to miss you and mourn you tomorrow. I can guarantee you that. All right? All right? You want to get in contact with me? My social medias are in the description as well. Give me a follow. Give me a hello. Just be mellow and we'll be good to go. All right, family. I'll see you guys on the next one. And the next one is probably going to be the next one of Rurouni Kenshin, Kyoto Disturbance. But don't worry, we got that Kinnikuman coming up because WrestleMania season. Whew, What about that ending match? I'll see you next time.